So yeah, we have all agreements so far. Once again, let's see if we can keep it going. Next game, Vikings at the Buccaneers. This line open up Buccaneers -6. It's up to 6.5. Looks like there's sharp money on Tampa. So who do you like in this game?
Yeah, so the Bucs are coming off a bye, and they previously, before the bye, lost to the Chiefs, and they have Tom Brady and Bruce Arians running the team. So, do you think that they're going to be ready with for this game with a great game plan? And you think they're going to be mad that they lost before the bye? And you think that they're going to, know that they're going to need a win over this Vikings team to be sure that they really solidify themselves as being in the playoffs, as opposed to, if they lost, well, then they would be tied with the Vikings, I think, in the standings, and then all hell would break loose. So I'm very much on the Bucs here. We've talked about this before many times. Good quarterbacks coming off of losses, you could generally bet on them. Tom Brady coming off a bye is usually very good too. I know part of that's coaching, but I trust Bruce Arians in this scenario. And I just think that the Bucs are going to be well rested. They're going to be healthy. They're going to have been game planning for this for a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, I know the Vikings were playing the Jaguars, but they still showed some issues in that game, and I think they're going to have a lot of trouble beating the Bucs because Bucs have the league's top run defense. So they may be able to bottle up Dalvin Cook a bit, and if Kirk Cousins to win you a game on the road against what is pretty good, it's had some issues in recent weeks. I like Tampa Bay to create some plays and force Cousins into some mistakes. I mean, he threw a pick 6 against Jacksonville, for crying out loud. So I think that he'll have some trouble against the Bucs. So I'm going to be all over the Bucs here. I just need to look at the injury reports more, but I have 2 to 4 units on them right now, and I'm leaning towards the higher end of that. So this might be a 4-unit play for me.
Yeah, this is one of my top plays of the week for sure. I love the Buccaneers. To put a number to what you were talking about with Tom Brady, it's 46-21 against the spread off a loss. If you exclude all games in which he's favored by a touchdown or more, after a loss, he's 38-10 against the spread, which is just remarkable. And this number is obviously less than a touchdown, and I think it's too low. Like, if you look at what the Vikings have done in the past few weeks, they've had all home games for three weeks in a row. They lost to the Cowboys, one of the worst teams in the NFL. They barely beat the Panthers. They needed a missed field goal at the end, and they needed a comeback, a miraculous comeback. And then they almost lose to the Jaguars. That game goes to overtime. So those are the 3 home games, and now they have to go on the road to play against a Buccaneer team coming off a bye. Tom Brady's had 2 weeks to hear that he's old and washed up, and he's going to be very motivated, and he has an easy matchup here. I mean, the Vikings defense usually is great, but they're missing 5, or depending on the formations, 5 or 6 starters. They're without 2 of their cornerbacks. They're without their top 2 edge rushers, and they're without one of their top linebackers. Brady should be able to find the weaknesses in this defense easily. So I think this could be a blowout. I like Tampa a lot.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Pointing out those schedule games, that I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah, they played 3. I mean, I think the Panthers are okay, but they're not a world-beating team, especially on defense. So I think that Tampa's definitely the right choice here. And you're right, he's going to be so mad. I'm looking forward to this one. I think this will be a nice bounce back spot for the Bucs here.
Yeah, so we had a comment saying that that was the numbers were for the old Tom Brady. Now Tom Brady is old. So let's look at this year. I mean, off a loss to the Saints, he beat the Panthers by 14 and covered. Off a loss to the Bears, he beat the Packers by 28 in that big statement game. Off a loss to the Saints the second time, he beat the Panthers by 23. Off a loss to the Rams, he did not beat the Chiefs, but he covered in that game with a backdoor cover. And he played very well in the second half. It was just Mahomes going nuts in the first half. So yeah, I mean, Brady's undefeated against the spread this year off a loss. So I think that I have faith in him against a Vikings team that's not really that good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Vikings have definitely gotten some good luck with getting wins lately against not great teams.
Yeah.